To 30 years in prison after pleading guilty to murder. 64-year-old James Alexander is now convicted of murdering his wife, Kimberly Alexander, last year. Alexander's son found her body at her White Oak home on July 10th. She had been shot twice. James Alexander was arrested 2 days later at a Longview hotel. And this morning, as KLTV7's Jamie Boyum tells us, her daughter made an impact statement in open court.
Been charged with the offense of murder. You understand what you were charged with?
Yes, sir.
How do you plead to this charge?
Guilty.
Several members of James Alexander's family were in court to hear his guilty plea. Alexander's daughter, Christina Haas, made a victim's impact statement about losing her mother to her father's anger.
She was kind, generous, hardworking, and the shining example of unconditional love in my life. So I feel her loss every single day.
Gregg County First Assistant DA Stacey Brownlee was lead prosecutor at the hearing. She feels victim impact statements are important not only for the family, but also the court.
We generally in these cases only talk about the defendant, and we hear very little about the victim unless we're in a jury trial, of course. And so it gives them the opportunity to let the court know something other than just the victim's name. And I think that's very powerful.
The trauma caused by James's actions will be carried throughout our lives. He took the opportunity away from us with this violent crime to say our final goodbyes. We can never get that back. My brother, who found her that awful day, will never get that image out of his head.
She said the family requested James be ineligible for parole or probation. Alexander will be eligible for parole in 15 years.
James has always been a violent and angry person.
Haas thanked the court for the opportunity to speak for her family.
And most importantly, my mother, whose voice was taken by James on July 8, 2023. She will be forever missed and remembered by those who love her.
Jamie Boyum, KLTV 7 News.
And police say Kimberly Alexander's murder was the first homicide in White Oak city limits in over a decade.